Yeah. What is going on, everybody? We are now live here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. This is another live edition of Steve's Kitchen. It is Monday, June 30th, 2025. June is officially about to come to an end in a couple of hours. Holy crap, we're about to be in July. And I hope all of you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you all enjoyed whatever it is that you did. Hopefully it was a good one. Tell me, how was your weekend? Can I hear you? But I hope it was good. This right here, yeah, this is 35. Yeah, hard to believe, right? Yeah, turn 35. I get this a lot too. Man, you don't even look 35. You look like you can still be 23, 24. I appreciate it. I really, really do. I guess it's called having good genetics for the most part. But again, guys, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Share it through all your social media platform, wherever it is that you guys share your pro wrestling content with all your loved ones and friends and all that fun stuff. It's a lot to get into. It's a lot to discuss. Look, normally this show would be on at 6:30 p.m., but being that WWE decided to what's it called? Just decided to go live with Raw at 6 p.m. Well, that changed a lot of things. And I was originally planning on doing a post show literally that Saturday, but I just couldn't do it. I was still how do you say, recovering from Friday night, which was my birthday. So thank you to everyone out there who wished me happy birthday. I appreciate all of you once again who took the time to wish me a very good happy birthday and all that stuff. Again, if you are new to the channel, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, we might do a Raw rundown live tonight. Depends really how I'm feeling, but it's possible. It's possible that we do a Raw rundown tonight. I'll keep you guys posted on my social media handle right there that you see at Heel Steven. Rocco writes here, hello. So Cena and Cody 2 at SummerSlam, not feeling Cody versus Cena 2 at SummerSlam, not feeling it. So add Orton, make it a 3-way. He didn't win King of the Ring 2 years in a row. He didn't win. So we'll see what happens with Orton. We'll see what happens with him. But again, guys, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It's a lot to get into. There was Night of Champions over the weekend that took place live from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which we'll get into that as well. What's going on, Chief? Happy birthday, Steve. I told you that I know I told you on Sab, but I still hope you had a great one. I had a good time, brother. Friday night, bro. Oh man. Woo. It was a crazy one. It started off in Hoboken, ended up in New York. Yeah, I didn't get home till like freaking 4 something in the morning. I literally went to sleep, had to go pick up my car at my cousin's house, went back home after so basically what happened was Friday night, right, going into that early Saturday morning, right, I decided to go. I took an Uber home from my cousin's house. I wasn't planning on crashing there. I wasn't planning on it. So I took an Uber. Responsible driving here, being responsible. Don't drink and drive, folks. Do not drink and drive. So I took an Uber from my cousin's house back to my house, slept, right? Slept, right? Woke up around, I want to say 9-ish, right? Still hungover. Took an Uber back to my cousin's house, picked up my car, went back home, tried to take a little nap in, but I couldn't. Then I went live with Romeo on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, where we basically watched Night of Champions. We did the watch along there, and I still was like a little tired, to be honest. But I took a nap right after the stream ended. I decided to take another nap. I literally woke up just in time for UFC 317. That's how crazy I got. I literally woke up in time for UFC 317 and watched with the boys, and all that fun stuff. But again, overall, it was a good birthday weekend. Spent it with friends, spent it with family. So that's what's up. And then it's crazy enough, like, what's good about my birthday? So it was on a Friday, right? June 27th. Next week is the 4th of July weekend. So the hits just keep on coming. And think about this too. We are officially tomorrow. It is July, right? SummerSlam will be here before you know it. What I'm going to probably do is do a live tips video, a tip video for those of you who are traveling here to SummerSlam and all that fun stuff. So be on the lookout for that. I'm still working on some things. I don't know if I don't even know if that's going to be live or that will be recorded. I'm aiming more towards the live, but I'll keep you guys posted on that as well. What's going on? Dominus, hello from Queens. Let's go. What's going on? All right, Queens. What's up? What's going on? C Money. Happy birthday, Steve. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. It was a good one. But like I mentioned before, there was a lot of wrestling that took place, and as well as como se dice, there's a lot of wrestling that took place over the weekend, and as well as combat sports, which we'll get into right now as well, guys. If you have questions for me too, feel free to drop in your questions, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Okay, I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Roots Hut in Clifton, New Jersey is a must go if you like deep fried hot dogs and if you're going to SummerSlam. Okay, well, fair enough. Clifton. Spent some time in Clifton back in the day. Clifton, Passaic, Patterson. Good times out there. Good times. But let's get into this, shall we? Let's get into SummerSlam. SummerSlam is officially in the books. It's over with. As far as the show goes, I thought it was all right, to be honest. Like, they've done better Saudi shows. Let's be honest. We've seen Saudi shows that were so much better than this. Not saying this show is bad or anything. For the most part, as far as the wrestling on a Saturday afternoon, it was all right. Again, it was all right. Nothing to go crazy about, besides the fact of, okay, you were really looking forward to seeing the main event of CM Punk and John Cena. And I'll be honest with y'all, they played the hits. Look, it wasn't a bad match. It just felt like, they just went out there and played the hits with a shitload of overbook run-ins and shit like that. They were trying to basically replicate WrestleMania 40, it looked like, which we'll get into as well. So again, let's get into this. So, but basically all you need to know is John Cena is still your WWE undisputed champion, and Cody Rhodes is the king of the ring, and Jade Cargill is your queen of the ring. So we already know what title matches we're getting at SummerSlam. We're obviously getting Cena and Cody, whether some of you may like it or not. And obviously we're getting Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton from the looks of it. Unless they decide tonight on Raw, because Raw is tonight at 6 p.m. Unless we hear Jade Cargill decide, you know what? I want to challenge someone else. I want to challenge Io Sky, which would be a complete monkey wrench in everything that's going on. But I just don't see that happening. I definitely think we're going to get, obviously, Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton. The same Tiffany Stratton who was also successful in retaining her women's championship against Nia Jax in the last women's standing match that took place on SmackDown in Saudi Arabia. And also, we have not only one but two new U.S. champions. That's right. As you guys may already know, coming out of Saudi Arabia, Solo Sikoa is the new, I almost said UFC, the new WWE U.S. champion, and as well, Julia is now the new women's champion when it comes to the U.S. title, which you kind of knew, like, Zelina's run was going to be transitional as all hell, to be honest. So, CM United champion was mid, wasn't terrible, but I don't think there was much memorable. I mean, there was some stuff there, but again, it's not a show that I'm going to go out of my way years from now and rewatch. It's just not happening. You think Jade is ready for the title match? Nah, we'll get into that. Let's get into it. Let's get into the show here. Let's get into this, guys. I know I've been talking here, but without further ado,
let's fucking go.
Trey, let's fucking go, y'all. Let's fucking go. Let's get into this, shall we? Let's get it. And we'll also talk about what happened at UFC 317 with Ilia Topuria crushing Charles Dubronx Olivera to become the new UFC lightweight champion. And I'll also give my thoughts on the Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight, because let's get into all this. Let's get into this, shall we? We start the show off with Cody and Randy Orton. And overall, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm happy they had a match. I'm happy for the fact that, this was probably the best match on the show. If there's any match you should go back and rewatch on this show, it is that. It is Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, the finals of the Men's King of the Ring. And also for Randy Orton, hey, you're once again in the finals of a King of the Ring. Remember last year there was that whole little controversy, right? With the cover. Oh, it looked like Orton's shoulders were up, but it wasn't. I mean, depending who you talk to, right? So here we go. Like you knew going in, like, yo, you're gonna get a good match. I just wish there was time to build. I wish this wasn't built on less than a week. That's my only thing about this. I thought this match was good. Probably, if I go on Cage Match right now, because Cage Match, you know how they go, you know how they get down. I already know they're crapping on the show. I can imagine just the shit they're saying about the program that happened on Saturday. Let me see here. Let me see, guys. If you have questions, feel free to also drop in your questions. Okay, I'll be answering also questions from you guys as well. Cage Match gave the show a 5.54. Okay, the match of the night obviously was Cody and Randy. They almost went out there for 20 minutes, and you wanted to see too. Okay, because they're gonna get the out of nowhere moment, and damn it, it happened. Obviously, it happened, right? Cody Rhodes was going for the Cody cutter, and of course Orton countered it into the RKO. Before that, though, there was a moment in the match where Cody did hit the Cody cutter, and then there's a moment in the match. There's a moment here, bro. There's a moment where Orton like brings out the chair, then he exposes the turnbuckle, right? He exposes the turnbuckle. And he's like, he was gonna go for the kick, but he couldn't do it. He held back. Orton held back because, again, you got to remember, these two guys go back way, way back from the Legacy days. So you factor in for Orton, it's like, I can't do it. I still love this kid. He probably still views him as a kid. Crazy enough, right? And then Orton gets thrown into the exposed turnbuckle, goes shoulder first, and then he gets hit with a crossroads for the 1, 2, 3. And Cody Rhodes is your King of the Ring. Love the match. Flat ending. Flat fucking ending. In my humble opinion. And I do hope, honestly, they run this back somewhere down the road. I know people have been talking about, Cody going heel. Not so fast, folks. Not so fast. Give it some time. It will happen. Just not right now. It's just not happening right now. But overall, I thought this was a very good match to open the show. Again, it just had that very, very flat ending with the way Cody won it. But you got to knew going into, like, yo, look, Cody won. I'll be honest with you, though. I said this weeks ago. I don't know how many of y'all remember this. Cody Rhodes did not need to be in this tournament. Cody Rhodes pinned John Cena at Money in the Bank in that tag team match. Cody Rhodes, not only that, he pinned the champion, but also he still owed a rematch from WrestleMania. So why the fuck are we putting Cody in this tournament when we already know what just happened? What I just mentioned right now moments ago. Pinned Cena at Money in the Bank. They still owed a rematch. You could have easily put someone else in this. Hell, if this was the case, bro, I would have just had Jey Uso. Yeah, would have just done Jey Uso. Had Jey Uso win and go challenge Gunther at SummerSlam. But hey, it is what it is. I would love to see a run-in from Ted DiBiase Jr. LOL, bring the whole Legacy faction together. Yeah, I don't know, brother. Somewhere out there, Ted DiBiase Jr. about to get locked up, and they will not let him out. So it doesn't hurt to wish sometimes, right? It doesn't hurt the fantasy like book and shit like that. So after this, we did get Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. This was a Riyadh Boulevard street fight. For the most part, this was a very, very fun match too. I actually enjoyed these two girls going at it and tearing it up. And again, too, you guys got to factor in with these two women, they're friends in real life. They're very good friends. They know each other. And when you're friends with someone, and again, you're working a match and all that stuff, just the stuff that they were able to pull off was impressive, right? Somewhere in this match, yes, Roxanne Perez did get involved to help out Raquel Rodriguez. And obviously, Rhea dealt with her, obviously. And then there's a moment in this match right? Where they're both like they have a table on the top turnbuckle, just laying across, right? And you see the referee holding on to this for dear life because, like, yo, one sudden movement that could go wrong could definitely go wrong. And obviously, Rhea Ripley hits the riptide from the top of this table that was platformed on the top turnbuckle for the 1, 2, 3. And of course, Rhea Ripley wins. And again, where do they go from here? I don't know. And honestly, too, I don't know where they go for Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. I have no idea. I'm still wondering, like, what are we going to do with her? Maybe Rhea versus Io Sky is possible, but I don't know. I just don't know right now. It's kind of like, but overall, I thought they had a very, very fun match. From there, you went on to Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. And obviously, you already knew Sami Zayn was going to get a big reaction in Saudi Arabia. And he did. And look, this was for Karrion Kross. This was his first PLE match, I want to say in a year or so. I could be wrong on that one. But here he is wrestling in Saudi Arabia on a PLE. People got behind Karrion Kross. People brought this into existence, him wrestling on a PLE. He has new merch out, by the way. Karrion Kross has new merch out on WWE Shop. I don't know how many of you guys caught that or not, but he does. So good for him. I know there have been reports too. I know there have been reports, that Karrion Kross is not a fan of taking the bumps. Look, this past Saturday, he silenced the allegations. He took like 6 bumps here. So it was cool. You knew going in, Sammy was going to lose. There's no way. Damn well Sami Zayn was not losing in Saudi. However, had this match taken place in the States, I do believe Karrion Kross would have gotten the win. I don't know what this W did for Sammy. It does nothing for now unless they decide to take this down the road. Maybe another match at SummerSlam. Maybe that's where that's where Karrion gets his win. Because again, at the end of the day, you kind of get the idea with them announcing the Royal Rumble taking place next year in Saudi Arabia. You kind of have an idea, all right, who's going to win the Rumble match, right? And if you notice, Sammy, with the exception, not including this win, things haven't been going his way. So obviously we kind of understand, going down the road, don't be shocked if Sami Zayn is involved in those WrestleMania plans next year. I'm just saying. Come on, people. Sammy ain't losing in Saudi. No, he was not, but I would have been shocked. You want to shock people? Have him lose in Saudi Arabia. I'm just saying. But be that as it may, Sami Zayn indeed is still the winner. And there you go. He obviously got the win. And we move on from here. We move on. And we'll see what happens. What happens tonight on Raw. From there, we got Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Thought this match, look, Sammy is Saudi Cena. Imagine that, Saudi Cena. Imagine the heat Kross would have gotten from a W, but okay, nobody gains anything. I agree. Look, I want to believe, bro, if the old man was still running this, first of all, Karrion Kross would not even be around. But if he probably would have had Karrion win. Again, in America, he wins. He's not beating Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia. That ain't happening. Hell no. But you did have Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu for the U.S. Championship. I mentioned it moments ago. We do have a new U.S. champion in Solo Sikoa. And look, the one thing about this, right? You're wondering, okay, it's only a matter of time till someone makes an appearance. And boy, I was excited. If you watch the True Heel Heat watch along with myself and Romeo, I lost my shit when we saw the return of Tonga Loa. That's right. Tonga Loa made his big return at Night of Champions, helping out Solo Sikoa, but to no avail. because somewhere in this match, Jacob Fatu did like a dive to the outside, and the visual they look crazy. The fact that I think it was Tonga Loa who took most of it because he tried to catch him, and for a second there, I'm like, oh shit, he hurt himself again, not again, but he looked all right. But the big debut here, let's be serious here, was finally after a year of being signed and just chilling around, I guess. Hikuleo, I'm sorry, Tala Tonga. That's what he's going by now. Made the save, laid out Jacob Fatu, and this helped Solo Sikoa become the new WWE United States champion. The Hakulan, yeah. Hopes the bloodline story gets back on track. I feel like it will, man. You know what it is, bro? For a while, like, look, they've dealt with injuries. So you got to factor this in. You know, for a while, Solo Sikoa had been just taking L's and L's and L's and L's. You had to throw him a bone. He needed this win. And also factor in with Jacob. Look, he could probably align himself with Jimmy Uso. And who knows, maybe Roman comes back and before he, you know, rejoins this whole thing with Rollins and the Braun Star. You get what I mean, right? Before he gets back into that business, maybe he decides to, you know what? Let me rejoin. Let me help out Jimmy and Jacob and bring in Jey Uso. Look, there's talks as well that Jey Uso, they might reunite the Usos. So who knows? We get a bloodline civil war all over again. You just never know. It's possible. It is very possible. Jacob chasing Solo is going to be really fun. And that's another thing too. You want to see Jacob Fatu chase the title. So we'll see where this goes. But again, I'm happy that Solo got the win. And I'm not just saying that because, I was doing Solo Sikoa cosplay at WrestleMania weekend, which, by the way, for those that are wondering, the hair is the gold is gone, y'all. The gold is gone. Don't worry though. I'll be back sometime in August. Okay. So I had to I had to cut this off too. I had to. So it was only a matter of time. So got it out of the way. Solo's the new US champion. We had Jade Cargill and Asuka. And I'm gonna say this match stunk up the joint. It did. This match was no bueno. Nah. And you know what's sad too? There's moments in this match, and you're watching the crowd in the building, and you're seeing everyone like in the front row, it's the Saudi officials. They bring their kids and what have you, and a lot of them are just sitting there the whole night like this, with their hands folded, with their arms folded, right? Or they're like this. Especially for this match too, which is like, damn, bro. Because again, this is the Queen of the Ring finals, and it just felt like, no one cared. No one gave a fuck. At this point, it's like, we're just ready for Punk and Cena at this stage of the game. So please bring out CM Punk and John Cena. And it is one of those things where it's like, you're watching this, right? And no one is caring, right? And I'm not trying to say that Jade is bad because I'm not saying that Jade is, freaking. I'm not saying that she is. How do I put this? I'm not saying that she's a ring general out there. Okay. She's not. But it's like, I just feel like she didn't need Queen of the Ring. She didn't need it, in my humble opinion. I don't feel like she did, but they gave it to her. Jade is not ready. She's still very clunky in ring and then on mic. We get it. She looks like a superstar, but she's not been in the Fed for she has been in the Fed for about 18 months now. So they need to see results soon. And I agree with that too. Like, bro, they've been around now she's been there for what? 18 months, like you said. And it's like all we're seeing is it's just not clicking. It's not. And I hate to say it. I really, really do. I really hate to say that, but the reality is it's just not clicking right now, you know? And it's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate that she's not clicking right now with that crowd. With again, they're in Saudi Arabia. I guarantee you, if they're back in the States, it's a different reaction. But I just don't think Jade needed to win Queen of the Ring. I just don't think she did. She didn't need to. Now, unless this leads to a Naomi cash-in down the road, then so be it. That's the only way I will accept it. I will only accept this is that if at SummerSlam, Jade Cargill beats Tiffany just so Naomi can cash in. That's the only way I'll accept this. It's fair to say Tony didn't fumble Jade because WWE is giving her everything, but something just isn't working. But maybe Tony Khan got this one right. The thing with Tony, and I'll say this, he knew, okay, look, with her, less is good. With her, you're not going to expect her. Look, again, I don't expect her to go out there and give me 20-minute classics. This match, by the way, Jade Cargill and Asuka, for those who are wondering, it was under 10 minutes. So cage match, the way they timed it from the moment the bell rang to the end of the match. So this match went about 8 minutes and 34 seconds. Okay. If you would have just given this less time, it would have been fine. Problem is, that ain't the case. I think Jade is second guessing herself. She had to retain every when she showed up to the Fed from AEW. I guess so. But again, it's just one of those things where you need to figure it out because, yeah, SummerSlam's going to be around the corner. And look, unless, like I mentioned before, unless she's beating Tiffany just for Naomi to cash in, so be it. But yeah, obviously with the result, Jade Cargill is the Queen of the Ring, as if she needed it. And then we get to the main event. John Cena versus CM Punk. Punk life, by the way. Punk life. I'll be honest with this, because I did see the whole thing on Friday. I know on Friday, SmackDown aired at 3 p.m. here in the States. And if you watched on Netflix via your VPNs and you pretended that you lived, across the pond, I know a lot of people had technical issues. There was like a commercial for like 30 minutes, right? That we'll be back soon. And that shit just kept going and going and going and going. But I did catch the CM Punk rap that he did on Cena on Friday. And again, you gotta think about this, right? Cena took Punk's pipe bomb. So obviously Punk had to do something in retaliation. So he decided to take Cena's Thugonomics gimmick. Look, I admired, and I said this on Saturday, I admired Punk's attempt. I admired it. His attempt to, try something different, right? I don't know how long he memorized his rap because I'll be honest, it felt like he was watching a lot of KOD battles. And it just still, I'll be honest, no pop. It just felt like, okay, yeah, he's rapping, but it just, it's silly, to be honest. It was silly to see him dressed like that. But we got the match, obviously. Again, CM Punk in Saudi Arabia. By the way, the same CM Punk who showed up on the what was it? The day before on the was it that what do they call that? The countdown? What it was? What was it? The countdown? It was on before SmackDown. They had like everyone, everyone and at the stage, right? The little like press conference, I guess. That's what they want to call it, right? That's what I'm going to call it, the press conference, right? And there's obviously people who booed CM Punk. They booed him. They booed him for what he said, and he addressed it, and he apologized, right? He went up to a fan, and he apologized and got a big pop, right? Jay seems to be getting worse. Jade seems to be getting worse instead of better. I see her not wrestling in 2 years. Hollywood's calling. Yeah, pretty much possible. I know she's going to be in a movie soon, so that should be good for her. I know there was zero expectations for Punk rapping, but he did okay. Again, if you're to ask a young kid who's into today's rap, you know, that type of shit, yeah, they thought it was fire. If you're going to ask an old head, they probably will tell you, you know, if you're to ask that old head, hey, sir, you know, what were your thoughts on on CM Punk's rap? They probably will tell you
that shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Yeah, for the most part. But yeah, man, look, CM Punk in Saudi Arabia, he finally got in there, he wrestled, and look, I thought the match itself, look, we know Cena is not the athlete that he once was. He's a shell of his former self. We know this. So anyone who thought that Cena was going to go out there and have this clinic with Punk, that didn't happen. I said this earlier. They played the hits. They did. Okay? And for the most part, I thought the match, if I'm being honest with you, it was okay. It was an okay match that they were able to pull off here. There was run-ins, obviously, right? You know, Rollins got involved. Again, Rollins still has his thing. He doesn't want CM Punk to be champion. He's going to stop him at any way possible. And also considering he has the Money in the Bank briefcase. So obviously, Rollins came out there along with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, right, with the briefcase. And then Penta showed up. There was a brawl there, right? Sami Zayn made a run in as well. All pandemonium. It's like they were trying to recreate WrestleMania 40. To know, again, I didn't need all that, but fine, it is what it was. What it was. And there's a moment in the match, right, where Cena is like having some second thought because he's like, why is Rollins here? And there's a moment where both Punk and Cena take out Rollins and the Braun Stars. There's a moment where they do that. And then they end up hugging. And if y'all remember the hug, y'all remember what happened at WrestleMania? Y'all remember what happened at Chamber, right? When Cena hugged Cody and he had that look on his face. Cena goes to low blow him, but Punk catches him. Right? But when it was all said and done, Seth Rollins ended up stomping CM Punk. And by the way, I love the fact that for the last time, right, CM Punk went into his storage unit, I'm sure, and dug out the same ring attire he wore at Money in the Bank 2011 for this match against John Cena. Considering, yeah, it's their last match, and they've had bangers before. Classics. Their Money in the Bank in 2011. They had that match on Monday Night Raw back in 2013. They've had a classic SummerSlam matches as well, I think also in 2011. I get there's people out there who would have loved to have seen this at SummerSlam. I get that too. But remember what we said when the news came out that Punk was going to Saudi Arabia? Turkey Al-Sheikh gets what he wants. Remember that, people. Turkey Al-Sheikh gets what he wants at the end of the day. So with that, John Cena is still your WWE champion. But we know he's facing Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. Where was Mr. Iguana during all these run-ins, brother? He was in Mexico. He was chilling. I was watching Busted Open. Okay. And I don't normally agree with them, but I agree with this is why was Penta doing his entrance and he had to make the save? I don't get that either. I have no clue why, bro. Penta shows up there, bro. And again, it's Cena, right? Cena was the one getting the beating, right? Or something like that was a Punk. For whatever reason, he decided to do his little dance, his little music thing, and then hit the ring. Chris, thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding us. Raw's at 6 p.m. Don't worry. We'll be out of here before 6 p.m. I can assure you on that. Happy 40th birthday to the King of the Ring, Cody Rhodes. Yes, happy birthday, Cody Rhodes. Thank you for reminding me. I gotta post a picture that I have with him from like 2016, back when he was in Ring of Honor. But that was obviously, look, that was a Night of Champions. Nothing again to go crazy about. Nothing to go like, oh my God, wow. You know what I mean? But anything, look, go back and rewatch. Honestly, Cody and Randy Orton. Go back and rewatch that match, to be honest. But yeah, obviously, that was Night of Champions. But there's more to happen this weekend. There's more that took place this weekend. Obviously, Ilia Topuria beating Charles do Bronx Oliveira at UFC 317. And he just, he beat him in one round. One round. Incredible. And now Ilia Topuria, again, the lightweight title was vacant because Islam Makhachev is going up to 170. So there's a vacant lightweight title. And now it's crazy because there's a moment where they're showing all the lightweights who are in the crowd after Ilya won. Oh, who's gonna be next to face? Who's gonna be next to fight him, right? So they had, I think it was Justin Gaethje. They had Arman Sarukian in there too, in the crowd. And who happens to show up like to have a face off with Ilia Topuria? Patty Pimblett. And they're going off, which, by the way, Dana White was like, I did not approve that at all. But look, I'm happy for Ilya. Ilya is taking the blueprint that Conor did years ago and is running with it. And now he joined a list of legendary fighters to have won titles in two different divisions. He joined the likes of Randy Couture, John Jones, Conor McGregor, Amanda Nunes, Daniel Cormier, George St. Pierre, to name you a few who have held titles in multiple weight classes. So good for him on that. BJ Penn's another one. All right. So that was cool to see. Also, for those of you that might care, Jake Paul defeated Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Not impressed. Like, yeah, he beat a bum Chavez. So good for him on that. What's going on, Universal? How's everyone doing? If it's Raw started at 6 o'clock, you've been beaten by it, but sure. What's the news? What's the news? Universal, what's the news? By the way, yes, I know that Hikuleo's new name is Talatanga. Could have been a better name, but whatever. It is what it is. Before we put a bow on this, on some AEW news, because I have to, be a little balanced here, right? I can't just be all TKO and stuff here, pals. BJ Penn is a GOAT King, underrated nowadays. One of the best to fucking do it. The WWE lied about Punk not being in the Middle East before. I mean, if we're counting tribute to the troops, don't be surprised. This is the same company that wants you to believe that Triple H and Undertaker WrestleMania 17 never happened. So there's that too. Okay. Let's get some AEW little rundown real quick. They did announce on Dynamite that at All In, it is going to be the Young Bucks, the founding fathers of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, going up against Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay for the titles of EVPs, meaning the Young Bucks are putting their EVP titles on the line. And this is how crazy it is too, right? Like, this graphic is not even the official All In graphic for the most part. If you go on the AEW site right now and you go to the All In matches, there's not a graphic for this yet. Like, what are we doing? There's not a graphic for this yet. What the fuck, Punk fought John Cena in 2013 in Doha, Qatar. Okay, good to know. All righty, good to know. Supposedly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do I know, right? What do we know? What do we know? So, yeah, man, look, it should be a fun match. I will say that it should be a fun match. But yeah, I mean, look, this is what we got for Swerve and Will Ospreay, a tag team match. Cool. Should be a good one for the most part, but I don't see the Young Bucks losing here, but we'll see where that goes. Also over the weekend, MJF showed up at MLW's Summer of the Beast event that took place at the Melrose Ballroom in Queens, New York, where he attacked Mystico. So if you see here in the picture, MJF dressed up as one of the soldiers from the Contra unit, and he had laid out Mystico. If you remember, Mystico and MJF did have a match at Arena Mexico. So they're still not done. And he basically attacked him. He removed his mask to show us MJF and got a big reaction from everyone in the building, right? In case you guys have forgotten, MJF did used to wrestle in MLW before. So I think he was the former MLW. I think he was their first middleweight champion. If I'm correct, great. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Great follow-up. The Mystico MJ from Grand Slam on another promotion. I think, look, in case you guys don't know, CMLL has relationships not just with AEW, but they also have a relationship with MLW. So through this, and remember, MJF is an MLW alumni. So the fact that he showed up, and remember, he's from that area. To my understanding, he showed up 10 minutes before the segment just to give away the mystique, just to give that surprise. Like, oh, anything can happen. And he laid out Mystico, talked about how he's gonna beat him up again when they have another match again, and embarrass Mexico and CMLL. Again, it was cool for the most part. So there was that. Also, this Wednesday on Dynamite is episode 300 of AEW Dynamite. 300 episodes in. I hope you guys are ready for SAD this Wednesday. I hope you guys are ready for that. But on episode 300, it will be a fatal four-way to see who will get the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match. Also, you're going to get for the TBS Women's TBS Championship, you're going to get Mercedes Moné versus Mina Shirakawa. And I'll be honest with you guys, if I'm being honest, there's a part of me that, you know what? I would not be shocked if they give Mina Shirakawa the win and have her be the new TBS champion. Now, listen, you want to have Toni Storm get some revenge, right? What better way than to have her cost Mercedes the TBS championship? Because again, we're not about to have Mercedes Moné go into All In with the TBS title and then win the women's title. We're not having that. So you have her drop the TBS title just so she can go into All In, already pissed off, and she ends up potentially beating Toni Storm. Possibility. It's a possibility. Yeah. Yeah, that was a great setup on Grand Slam for the payoff in MLW. But again, it's part of the story, though. It's the lead-in. So the story isn't done yet, C-Money. If the way I look at it, it's not done yet. I think that's one of the things, too. Like, yeah, anything can happen. So there's that. But also, you're also going to get on episode 300, you're going to get Kota Ibushi versus Kazuchika Okada, non-title, one-on-one. I believe this is their first time these two guys go at it, if memory serves me correct, since 2021, when they were both in the G1 finals, where Kota Ibushi injured his shoulder. If I got the year wrong, please correct me. Okay? Please correct me if I get it messed up here, whether it's 2021 or 2020. Maybe 2019. One of those years where they stopped the match and all that stuff. But look, Kota Ibushi on last Wednesday looked like the Kota of old. So let's hope that he can still go and, let's see what happens. If Mina win the TBS title, doesn't that give away the ending to All In? Maybe, but the thing is, we're not about to have Mercedes go into All In, holding the TBS title, and then winning the AEW women's title, so that later on, if she loses the TBS title, oh my gosh, but she's still the women's champ. It makes no sense. So you have her drop the belt now. It adds more fuel to the fire here between Tony and Mercedes. So we'll see about that, how that goes in the long run here. But I think on this match, this is where we see the return of Kenny Omega, episode 300. And speaking of which, it's also episode 100 of AEW Collision. And as you guys already know, when it comes to Collision, hashtag AEW Collision, Saturday. Ain't nobody watching that. Come on. No, they're not. But on Collision, I think, what is it? Happening this Saturday, July 5th, it will be FTR versus the Outrunners. Oh boy. That's going to be a barn burner, right? TK is somewhere out there right now. He's busy right now. He's busy, man. He got a big show coming up. I'll be honest, man. I am not really feeling the build to All In. I'm really not. I'm just not. Yes, you're going to get Omega and Okada. That's great. Cool. You're going to get the only thing I'm looking forward to, honestly, is Hangman and Moxley. To see Hangman finally win the title, if it happens. But outside of that, look, that was wrestling this weekend. I know also for all my New Japan heads out there, Hiroki Goto is no longer the AEW, he's no longer the IWGP World Champion. The title went back to Zack Sabre Jr. Also factor in, with Forbidden Door literally around the corner, and it's going to be in the UK. I'm pretty sure New Japan wants someone from that country holding on to their top title in that event. So there you go. Wow. 100 episodes of Collision. Still haven't watched the show. Feels like, feels more like Smallin'. Meh. But yeah, that's why I think Zack Sabre Jr. Recaptured the title. And everyone know it comes to Forbidden Door.
Oh, wow, that's a fitting name for all the virgins out there, the Forbidden Door, because that's the one thing they'll never see.
Well, yep, basically it. That being said, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Look, I know, kept it short today, short and sweet, to the point, right? Under an hour, right? This is great. Now, look, if I'm feeling it, if I'm in the mood later tonight, I will be live for Raw Rundown here on the channel. If I'm in good spirits, okay? If not, be ready for that tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon, okay? But you guys already know the deal already, guys. Like, subscribe. Thank you all for watching. You guys already know where to check me out at. It's at Heel Steven, all right? Follow the Around the Point Network over on X at AT Point Network. Follow us there too. All right. That being said, guys, again, thank you all for watching. You guys are awesome. All right. Kept it short today. We kept it a short show. Nothing crazy. Okay. It gives you guys enough time to go watch Monday Night Raw. All right. Much love. And exactly, yes, Trish Stratus tonight. Cannot fucking wait. Can't wait to see who she faces at Evolution. That being said, guys, for myself and for the gang, this has been Steve's Kitchen here on the Around the Point Network. And I know Inter Miami lost in the mud. Hala Madrid, baby. Real Madrid about to win it all. You heard it here first, y'all.
Listen. Fuck up. Get out.